Whoa, we got a bombshell report that reveals that other NBA teams are checking up on Darius Garland's availability and his situation in Cleveland, possibly assuming that the Cleveland Cavaliers are willing to move on from Darius Garland amid the bad start that this Cavaliers team has had, and if they fall short of any sort of playoff success again, or struggle to even be in a playoff spot at the deadline, the scapegoat of the Cavaliers core for Darius Garland could be a potential player that we see shipped off in a major deadline move. Matt Palange with Cavs Digest here. Hope everyone's having a great week. Another video coming out from me. I did not expect this to happen, but I read this report and I decided that I had to make a video on this. Of course, I wish I was able to make it right when it came out. So I'm sorry about that, but I had work. Anyways, we're here. And if you want to make videos like this, like I am right now, why don't you go ahead and try to join the Digest team? You can, if you ever want to be a sports writer, sports content creator, you can join the Digest team by going to digestmedia.ca/join-us. To apply, there's also a link in the description. There's going to be other Cleveland openings, the Guardians, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Browns, the Cavs, maybe? Who knows? So if you're a Cleveland sports fan, why don't you come ahead and join along. Now let's get into this news that we got surrounding Darius Garland. NBA Central tweets, teams around the NBA are monitoring Darius Garland's situation in Cleveland per Amico Hoops, also known as Sam Amico. We're going to dive more into what he says. He believes that scouts are talking, executives are talking, and Darius Garland's name has been mentioned, including from some rival teams. I personally came up with 2 mock trades that I do not think are even possible at all, or that are possible, but I do not think will happen, because going to the trade finder and finding a way that Darius Garland's cap situation will work while the Cavs don't completely lose the trade is very, very difficult. I believe Darius Garland's making about $39 million 2 years, something like that. It's kind of a brutal contract that he has. I know a lot of you guys are like, yeah, this guy's overpaid, but nonetheless, we have the report that teams are looking into Darius Garland or checking up on the situation. And listen, this does not mean he's going to get traded. This could simply mean his situation is he's staying with Cleveland. That could be the truth, right? Just because this report comes out does not mean he's getting traded. But, as I said, I do think that there is a chance if the Cavaliers fall short of any sort of playoff success, that Darius Garland is the most likely candidate to be gone. I know we've had some Jarrett Allen issues, but in reality, you're going to have to add another big man to the lineup. And trading Darius Garland is going to be difficult, let me tell you, because of his money situation and his injury situation. But let's dive into Darius Garland, why he is the most likely trade piece. First of all, teams love point guards, and Darius Garland is a good point guard. He's an all-star point guard. He's just been injured. He doesn't really play great defense, and he's kind of had to make some money. There are flaws to Garland, but he's a good point guard for any team, and I believe that the Cavs are better with him on the court. Nonetheless, there are still flaws to him, right? So, we look at his stats from this season, just overall. You can kind of see at the bottom. He's only averaging like 14 points. He's not really shooting good. He hasn't really been able to play, and when he plays, he doesn't really shoot that well. He struggles, man. He's been struggling. 1 for 8 from 3 is just not good. 1 for 6 from 3. It's just like he's been bad this year. And again, here's my biggest issue. I feel like he's playing on an injured toe. That toe is a major, major issue, which lowers his trade stock, which is why I'm kind of lenient on trading him due to the fact that I'm not sure what teams are going to pull the trigger on his specific injury issues. His stats just haven't been good this year. He hasn't really been around. He hasn't really played, and when he does play, he's not shooting that good, you know? I still do think that the Cavs' playmaking with him on the court and his ability to create a shot is very, very high. But it's just when he's healthy, and it seems like he keeps playing with this freaking stupid toe, and I wouldn't mind getting that stupid toe off this team. Not Garland, just that toe. Get rid of that freaking toe. Sam Amico said, people around the NBA are starting to wonder what happens next in Cleveland. Scouts talk, executives talk, and more than a few believe President of Basketball Operations Koby Altman may eventually have to consider a real poster shakeup if the Cavaliers come up short again this spring. Mic drop. That's what he says. He says that they have said some things. Do we believe him? He's kind of Sam Amico sometimes says things, but he knows a little bit about the Cavs and the Cleveland sports, so I'll let it slide. I do believe that he is a trusted source. I do think that this is talking. We're going to dive into trades. Quick hint at one. Boom. His stats over his course with the Cavaliers, he's regressed. he progressed a little bit, and then he regressed. I mean, 40% from 3 is good, but this year, just that freaking stupid toe, man. He's been so bad. He has been pretty bad this year. Potential trade options for Darius Garland. Why? Okay, real quick, before we dive into the trade options, why would the Cleveland Cavaliers trade Darius Garland? And is it going to happen? First of all, is it going to happen? No, it's not going to happen this season, but it could happen in the offseason. The most likely candidate for you being the problem with trading him is that you are a second apron team. All your trades can be one-for-one player swaps. Example, Lonzo Ball, Isaac Okoro. Swap them. Lonzo Ball on the Cavs, Isaac Okoro on the Bulls. That is the way that you can make trades when you are a second apron team. You also cannot trade for an expensive player like Giannis Antetokounmpo cannot be traded straight up for Darius Garland. I know it sucks, but we cannot do that. Either way, we would have to trade like Garland and 2 first-round picks, but I don't think you can do that because of second apron anyways. I would do that, though, to be honest. Get rid of the first-round picks. We don't use them anyways. And why would a team trade for Darius Garland? Well, they would have to take the risk of his injured toe, but because point guard is a very, very valuable position, and I think Darius Garland is a top 10 point guard in the league probably. I'll have to go through it, but he's probably like the 10th, 9th, somewhere between the 15 and probably between like the 12 and 8 area of point guards in the NBA. He was an all-star last year, right? Like, he's a good player nonetheless. He just has this injury issue. So he has to get rid of that. And the Cavaliers getting rid of him would mean you don't have to worry about that freaking toe, that it looks like he hurts every game he plays on it, and he swears he's healthy. He swears he's healthy, guys. So, potential trade destinations. If you are the Cavs, what can you get out of him? These 2 mock trades that I made, I doubt they happen. But you have to think about the Cavs scenario. If you were to trade Garland for a center, you would have to hope, or for a power forward that can start next to Mobley and Mobley plays center. You would have to assume that you trust Lonzo Ball, Craig Porter Jr., and Tyrese Proctor as your guards. Lonzo Ball can't make a shot. If Lonzo Ball was shooting at if Lonzo Ball was a 40% three-point shooter, I would be okay with him starting. Because he's a great defender, great passer. And he's a great fit for the Cavs. He just can't make a shot. If you were to trade for a guard, you would have to improve in some way. Or a guard that fits better. Which, again, I don't know. Why would you trade for a point guard anyways? So, you're kind of in a weird spot. Because if you trade for you're not trading for a shooting guard. Because you have Strus at the backup as of right now, kind of. But you have Mitchell at starter, obviously. You have like Tyson, Proctor a little bit, kind of Max Strus, Sam Merrill, who's been hurt, right? Like, you don't really need a shooting guard. Small forward, you have Jalen Tyson, DeAndre Hunter. That's all I need to say. Power forward, you have Evan Mobley. And you're not trading Darius Garland for a backup. But you could trade Darius Garland for a center to start over Jarrett Allen. There's a lot of stuff that you could do. The thing is, there's just no way Darius Garland gets traded this season. 0% chance. 2 mock trades that work. First one, Cavaliers swap straight up for Ja Morant. Would this help the Cavs at all? I don't freaking know. Ja Morant likes to get suspended, likes to be hurt. I don't think this helps him in any way. I love Ja Morant, but come on, dude. But it is a point guard for point guard swap that works. And if you really want Garland gone, and I'm sure Ja Morant's going to be in trade talks. If you really want him gone, then boom, he might be a Cavalier. Next one, Zion Williamson. You put Zion Williamson at the 4, you put Evan Mobley at the 5, and your starting lineup is Lonzo /Porter/Proctor, Donovan Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, Zion Williamson, and Evan Mobley. Does this help us? I don't know, but I wouldn't mind it. I like Zion Williamson actually a lot, to be honest. I do. So let me know what you think about this report from Sam Amico and NBA Central. Let me know how you guys feel. What does it even matter at all? Is there a chance that Garland says goodbye? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends. As always, thank you guys for joining me here on Cavs Digest.